Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Just when you thought you'd seen it all, Melania Trump, your first lady, came out with her own press conference trying to distance herself against child predator and dead man Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, but wait, there's more. She also suggested that Congress investigate vigorously the criminals associated with the Epstein files. Yeah, fam, it's about to get interesting because these are not just regular criminals. These are some of the most powerful men in the world. Yeah, fam. One of them she knows very well. I mean, extremely well. And fam, for the first time, I think in my life, I actually agree with something she said. I think that Congress should investigate and give those women justice. The victims need justice. They don't just deserve justice, they need justice. In case you missed it, check it out.
I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
I ain't got no problem with that. Alrighty then. The First Lady, it appears, has had enough. She has finally been implicated and she wants to distance herself. I can imagine how she approached Donnie about this. Probably, Donnie, what were you doing? Why did you do that press conference? I had no idea. What I have to find out from a staff member that you had a damn press conference. Bitch, what's wrong with you? You know, he went off. And she was like, well, you started all of this. You told me it was just going to be the little girls. You didn't tell me anything about this. You told me you would protect me, Donnie. If you had it, I had it figured out. All you had to do is just shut your damn mouth. Keep your mouth shut. You just had to talk. You just had to say something. God, I'm going to deport you, God. Will you try that? And I'll end you. Family, you know they was in there scrapping. You know they was scrapping. Yeah. This was an absolutely horrible idea. No way possible that she ran this by anybody who had some power and influence or somebody whose opinion carried weight. No way possible. Or maybe she just said, you know what? I've been listening to these handlers for all these years. I'm tired of listening to y'all. I'm tired of taking instructions and just being a little good girl, being quiet. I got to speak up. I'm not going down for this. I'm not going down for this, Donnie. I'm not going down for this. You shut your damn mouth. You're going to go down if I say go down. Now go down right now. Family. This could be the break in the case that we've been looking for. Look. The files, the emails, the confessions, the redactions, the thief, none of it has been able to stick. I mean, just you can think of everything you can think of, just nothing has been able to bring these criminals to justice. But you put a woman in the mix, look at some of these high-profile cases that we've seen over the years. Almost all of these high-profile cases some kind of way involved a woman, and a woman ended up taking these dudes down. That's amazing how the dude could be the biggest, baddest dude in the world, and he can destroy men, the most powerful men. But it takes one little bitty woman, because women know where the bodies are buried, and they're going to be believed more. I don't believe Melania Trump is innocent. She was a model. She did take off her clothes. She was captured on photo with a woman with her clothes off. Yeah. She pulled that off. She still became the first lady, and Michelle Obama was constantly criticized, and she had high standards and stuff. She still was criticized, but Melania Trump took her clothes off, and she's doing damn near doing soft porn. But anyway, fam. Anyway, let me get back on track. Melania Trump is on to something. Yes, those women deserve justice, and Melania got the power to help those women get justice. All she got to do is stop cooperating right now with Trump. If she stopped cooperating and say, yo, investigate. But that can't even happen, though. It can't happen. If there's any type of reopening of this case and investigation, it's all going to be a dog and pony show. These people do not want anybody to be held accountable. Because if one person get held accountable, he got to tell what he know. He's gonna probably tell what he know, and they're gonna find themselves right back in the situation as Epstein was in, because that's why they killed Epstein, because Epstein knew too much. So they decided, you know what? Well, I think it was a little bit more than that too. Might have had a little something to do with some real estate transactions. But anyway, I think that's why Epstein was rubbed out, right? If they put somebody else in the hot seat, then you have the same situation. Trump became president to protect everybody. So he offers a protective shield for all those involved. I do not believe that these women will ever get justice. Even if the Democrats come into power, they are not going to put Trump in jail. They're not going to put the prince in jail. They're not going to put any of those high-profile people, billionaires and stuff. Ain't nobody going to jail for this. Because if somebody was going to go to jail, it would already happen. It would have already happened. Biden had an opportunity to put people in jail. He didn't. He could have released those Epstein files, and he could have punished Trump and everybody else that was in those files, but he didn't. So you got to think to yourself, why is that? Why didn't he do it? See? So both administrations are responsible for the lack of justice here. Both administrations. Right now, it just would not benefit Trump to try to hold anybody accountable, because he does, then, the veil is going to be, the veil is going to drop, and then it's going to be over for a whole lot of people, including him. So they're not gonna solve this. This is all just talk. This is an attempt for Melania to distance herself. I still think she should have just stayed quiet. She hardly ever talks. And for her to step out and try to do this, every time a politician steps out on that podium and starts talking about how they wasn't involved in a crime, they always get prosecuted. I doubt if she gets prosecuted, but typically that's how it goes. You can go back as far as you want to go back. And you'll see anytime they have to step out there and address it, that means that they are trying to get in front of the whole thing. And that's what's happening with Melania. She's trying to get out in front of what's coming. There's something big coming, and I'll talk about that in the next video that I release after this. But there is something big, and I'm talking about big, coming down the pipeline. And Melania is trying to get out in front of it because she had no reason. There was no reason why she should have went out there on that White House steps and conducted, a press conference. And some people say it was without Trump's knowledge. That lets you know there's chinks in the armor. The house of cards is falling. This administration's time is almost up. When you put a woman in the mix, hey man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Melania Trump is about to say, man, but then again, who knows? She might end up slipping on a banana, choking on a grape. Who knows? It's about to get really, really ugly. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.